YouTube, Zéntus PvP here, yet again with another guide or something, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Today we are doing a Windwalker Monk PvP guide to how to use a Windwalker Monk. If you're a beginner, still learning, or you're interested in going to the PvP side of it, but I'm just going to be covering most things, hopefully. I've never done a guide before, so if I miss a few things out, tell me and I'll probably put it in a separate video and stuff like that. Because like first I'm gonna go with talents and then glyphs and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Probably I'm gonna miss quite a few things out, but here we go. So we'll start with talents. The first talent you want to go with is either don't go with momentum, but clarity or tiger's lust are good. You'd only want to go with clarity if you're going with chi torpedo, probably. This meaning you can get 3 charges of chi torpedo, which goes into your DPS rotation, and that helps a lot. Tiger's Lust you might use for comps just to get away from people if you want to kite and stuff like that. Catch up to like rogues possibly or mages when they use their whatever it's called, I forgot. And like all sorts of classes, just like catching up with people basically. Yeah, momentum, not really much point in using it. Right, the level 30 talent. I usually go with Chi Burst, because of the higher burst. That pretty much goes in the name. Um, and yeah, it's very good. You add this to your rotation with Chi Torpedo. Well, I usually go from Leg Sweep, Chi Burst into Chi Torpedo like a couple of times. Oh, my thing just DC'd. 1 sec. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I'd usually go with Chi Burst, but if you're newer to the class, I'd recommend you go with Chi Wave because you can't really go very wrong with it because it's guaranteed to hit the target more or less, and it bounces back, gives you a bit of a heal. Yeah, it gives them damage, and it hits 7 times. It's not bad, but Chi Burst heals you and it damages. So the 45 talent, I don't really go with Ascension or Power Strikes ever. Chi Brew is always the one I go with because basically what you do is as soon as you enter a comp, or arena match, you'd go behind your pillar, put your Transcendence down, and get your stacks of Chi Brew, in my opinion. So you can get them Chi straight away, like that, and you can get a few stacks of Tiger's Eye Brew. So you've already got, like, the burst waiting for you, basically. So it helps a lot with your burst. Right, this next one is level 60 talent. I'll go through all of them actually. So Ring of Peace, I wouldn't use in Warlords, but in BG's next expansion, like Eye of the Storm and let me think, Lumber Mill at Wrath Basin, it would be good because as soon as someone goes into your Ring of Peace or anyone's Ring of Peace, they'll get blown right out of it. So it'll blow people all away. So that's gonna be handy next expansion, but not this expansion. Not very good. Charging Oxwave, yeah, it's good if you can time it properly and you can use it properly. I mean, I don't use it myself. I just don't know why. I just don't prefer using it. And what it does is the Mighty Ox rushes toward 30 yards, stunning all enemies for a path for 3 seconds. Yeah, it's good, but you have to time it, as I said. Leg Sweep is probably is the best one to go with, if I'm honest with you. It knocks down all enemies within 5 yards, stunning for 5 seconds. This is perfect if you're trying to get into like a burst, like a chi burst into. I mean, I use Mecha Blast Rockets, which I've done a video on, in like BGs and stuff, and then I go into like a Chi Torpedo or something and Fist of Fury, whatever you want to say really. So yeah, you want to use that definitely. That's probably the best one to go with in my opinion in any situation, to be honest. Right, healing elixirs, I'd go with this one for the level 75 talent because as a monk you use a lot of brews like energizing brew, fortifying brew, all the other brews like chi brew, especially when you're going with chi brew up here. It's probably best to go healing elixirs because say if you're on low health and you've got 1 stack of chi brew waiting there, use that. I'll give you a bit of a boost up about 15% of 15% of your health. So that's probably best way to go in my opinion. But if you're going against like God Comp or something, maybe go with diffuse magic. And yeah, it's probably quite good, yeah. And if you're going against like a warlock, maybe go dampen harm, like a destro lock or something. Just when he's spamming them chaos bolts at you, probably helps a little bit. Like half that. Next one. This expansion, you probably want to be going with Chi Torpedo. As much as I hate the idea of using like a getaway talent and a healing talent as probably your main damage, actually. I mean, Chi Torpedo takes up. Let's have a look. It takes up, well, not here, but it takes up 12% my damage. But when I used to do PvE, it took up 30% of my damage when I done PvE, and that was at the beginning of the expansion for a bit. But yeah, so I'd recommend using Chi Torpedo. But I mean, it's a shame if you're going on twos maybe, and you want to add a bit more pressure, maybe go with Invoke Sven. That's very good to use. And yeah, Invoke Sven's good, don't get me wrong, but I'd probably stick with Chi Torpedo. But basically, you need to time it properly. Like, for example, like that. Sorry, I'm a bit laggy at the moment. But yeah, you want to jump and then hit it. Simple as that. Right. So, you want to go in Chi Torpedo for that one, probably. Right, the next level 100 talent. Oh, let me get in a comfy position. The level 100 talent, you probably want to be going. If you're in serious PvP, probably Chi Explosion, because it's not as hard to use. And well, I don't really know how to explain this one. If you're gonna like YOLO BGs and stuff like that, probably go Hurricane Strike because it's a ton of fun to use. And it does quite a bit of damage as well, don't get me wrong. But it's on a 45-second cooldown, which isn't good. You have to wait quite a while for it. But Chi Explosion, yeah, I don't use Serenity, just keep that out altogether. It's not really very good at all. But Chi Explosion, you want to be probably using in serious comps like arenas and RBGs and stuff like that, because especially when you get all 4 stacks up there, you see it up there, and it hits all enemies with 8 yards for quite a bit of damage as well. And basically it's a stacking one, and it basically replaces your blackout kick, which is good because you don't use blackout kick quite a lot, do you? So there you go. But Hurricane Strike you'd probably use for BGs, and it's a bit of fun, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Right, glyphs. I'm not the best with monk glyphs, because I mean I've never really paid a ton of interest to them, but I'll show you what I like to go with. Right, let's have a look. Right. So, we'll start with these big ones. Your all Chi Torpedo and Flying Stone Kit abilities dispel all snares when affecting you to use. So, if you're going, like, it's an extra dispel, basically. So, that's pretty good when you ever use, especially when you're using 3 stacks of Chi Torpedo and stuff like that, when you're using Clarity. Detox heals you for 4%, so that's very handy. So if you're like going against like high pressure comps and you've got a lot of dots on you, may as well you might as well use your detox. It'll also heal you, so that's very handy. I don't really know much about this one, but it when channeling Fist of Fury, your parry chances increase by 100%. So say if you're Fist of Furying some like in a twos comp, for example, if you're on like a lock or something or on a mage, and their friend the DK is attacking you, your parry is increased by 100%, so he's got less chance of hitting you every single time. Right? Right. This is one you want to be using for like BGs mainly. Like I'd use this on stuff like, oh, let me think. Deep Wind Gorge. Anyways, quite a few like Deep Wind Gorge, Rafi Basin. The BGs with water in it, so you can get away fast if you need to. And it basically you roll a Chi Torpedo and skims you across the water. Right. Glyph of Blackout Kick. Your Blackout Kick always deals 30% additional damage over 4 seconds, regardless of positioning, but you're unable to trigger the healing effect. I don't really know much about that one, how to use it properly. I've never really bothered in much. I just have it there for the sake of it, to be honest. This one's just a random one. Your Rising Sun Cake's visual altered to the colour of the white tiger. Not really that important. So yeah, that's all the glyphs. To sum it up, yeah. Right, what should I go next? Use spells and how to use them, probably. So, I'm gonna go over the brews, I think. I think I will, yeah. Right, so the first one we're gonna have a look at, I'm gonna have a lie down one sec. The first one we're gonna have a look at is the energizing brew up at the top right. So yeah, right, what we're gonna use this for is we're gonna pop that as soon as you'll know energy. For example, like you're in a high pressure comp and you need some heals instantly. So yeah, go on. You click. Right, let me just think. Let me think. Right, so what you want to be doing, you want to be on low energy. If you're on low energy and you need to spam your Surging Mist, for example, what I'd do is, to get a quick heal, I'd get behind a pillar, Energizing Brew, and spam your Surging Mist. That'll get you quite a bit of health at least. So you want to be doing stuff like that for your Energizing Brew. On top of that, you can add it to your burst rotation. And that'll how to explain it? You can probably do a lot more blackout kicks, jabs, tiger palms, stuff like that. I'd probably spam jabs, and then this is probably if I was going with like a chi explosion, maybe. I'd like spam jabs, chi explosion, spam jabs, chi explosion. So I get maybe 8 stacks of chi. Every 4, I'd use my chi explosion. Quite a big burst, especially if you're going against like enhancement chamois and stuff like that. Get all the totems down, stuff like that. One sec. Right. Anyways, so yeah, energizing brew for a start. Now, fortifying brew. This isn't as good as all the other brews. Like, not the brews, but like all the other defensives. Like the dwarf one is a lot better. Like stone skin or something. That's very good. But it increases your maximum health by 20% and reducing damage by 20%. I use this in my save me macro. Basically in my save me macro, I've got like, well, how to explain? Like, I've got my fortifying brew, my defensive trinket, I think it is, yeah. And yeah, it like gets my health really high up, or like higher up when it's like on the cooldown. And yeah, so that basically says what I've got to say about that. So it's a good defensive. Just put it that way. Good defensive. Like that's me in there. You grow bigger as well. Looks cool. That's how you can tell it's on like active. Right. Next brew, Chi brew. This is only if you've got the talent for it, which you probably should go with. If you need a heal and you're going with healing elixirs, if you're on low health, for example, I don't know if this will work right now, but I'll lose a bit of health. I've lost a bit of health. So, look, what should I use this? Go up health, you see? I went up health. I don't go up health again because it only does it once out of twice. You'd be very lucky if you in both brews you got 2 heals because that would bring you up quite a lot of healing. On top of that, it gives you Tiger's Eye Brew, which brings me on to my next point. And Tiger's Eye Brew increases, 10 stacks, increases damage and healing by 6% per. Oh, one sec. I'm getting tongue twisted here. Consumes up to 10 stacks of Tiger's Eye Brew to increase damage of healing done 6% per stack for 50 seconds. 15 seconds, sorry. So every stack is 6% damage and healing. So that's very good. I mean, you got to think about. I mean, you have to use any rotation, especially if you're going with like Hurricane Strike or something like that. I mean, it's very good to go with. So yeah, so you use that to heal and get your Tiger's Eye Brew, and use your Tiger's Eye Brew also to heal if you need like really high healing, and to go into your burst macro, which will definitely deal a lot more damage. Like I'll deal a nice bit of damage if when I'm actually concentrating and all that. It's really good. Like 50k crits. Usually I'd only get like 20 odd k crits normally. I mean I don't get anything really big high crits anymore. But yeah, you see where I'm coming from. So yeah, I think that's most of the brews. Let me just check. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone out. Oh no, Nimble Brew. Ah, here we go. So Nimble Brew is basically when you get stunned, you'd use that, and yeah, so basically it's like a trinket more or less. It's really good. I mean, I love it. Like, and it reduces the effects, reduces like moving effects and horror effects by 60% for 6 seconds after. So it'd be good like, if like against warlocks with fears and stuff. So we trinket a fear, he'll fear again. It only lasts 60% less. So you see where I'm coming from. Whew, I don't know what to talk about next. Right, buffs. We'll talk about buffs to keep up. Right, you want to keep up one buff mainly, but there is 2 buffs. So, right, you see, Rising Sun Kick. You want to keep that buff up because damage taken from abilities dealt by the monk is increased by 20%. So before every burst, you must have that up, and it'll deal a considerable amount more damage. Right, the next one is up here. Your attacks ignore 30% armor. Ignore. I can't pronounce it. So Tiger Power, and that stacks for I think it's 3 times. Is it? Let's check. Nope, just twice. Sorry. But yeah. and you want to keep them 2 buffs up. Then you have to keep them 2 buffs up. Right. And now I'll talk a bit about the burst. Right. So remember Tiger's Eye, Rising Sun Kick and Tiger Power. You want to keep that up. Right. So the burst. What I'd usually go in a burst is something like this. I'd want to have my brews up. Right. So I'd use my brew, Tiger's Eye Kick. Nope. I'm almost saying Tiger's Eye Kick. Then I go into Chi Burst, Hurricane Strike. If you want to make a blast rocket, and then you just like, if you time it properly, which I just didn't, you want to use your Chi Torpedo and you jump. I mean, Zwen is very good, and he's got a guide towards this. So if you want to go check his guide out, I will do it sometime. But yeah, that's like your main rotation, I could say. So it goes from using your Chi Brews to your Tiger's Eye Brew to your Rising Sun Kick to your Leg Sweep to your Chi Burst, and then if you've got it, you make a Mecha Blast Rocket, and then into your Hurricane Strike. And if that doesn't do it, you'll go into Fist of Fury, and then when it gets below 10%, you just spam Touch of Death. Once you get enough Chi, that is. Right, so that's that. Then I'll go to healing, I think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I need to talk about in guides, if I'm honest with you. So healing. I need to go back on the spec. Show my spec for this. Talents, right. So healing. What the main healing ones talk about is Chi Brew, Chi Burst. Well, level 30 talent, level 45 talent, and level 75 talent. And also, Chi Torpedo helps heal them as well. So Chi Burst gives you 30, well, in my case, 13k healing. Chi Wave does, where does it say? Well, it does it every time it hits you, it does healing. Think for about 2k. If you use Chi Brew and you're going with healing elixirs, it heals you 15% of your health every time you use Chi Brew. So, for example, I'll go over attack this target. Right, whoa, I'm on low health. Whew. Right, so you see this? Chi Brew. It never usually does it a second time, but it's good for that heal if you're in high pressure comps. So yeah. And then Chi Torpedo, as you'll see, right, I'm gonna fall. Look at my health. It goes up with Chi Torpedo because of it. Also, you'd want to be using Expel Harm, because that heals you for 13k, in my case. Yeah, and it deals 33% of the amount of healed as nature damage to the enemy within 10 yards, generates 2 chi as well. So, if you want to add that to your burst, people do that before they go in again. Yeah, you can use all your brews to heal you, actually, as long as you go with healing elixirs. Right, next one would be Surging Mist. Heals the target for 14k healing, like with me. And you can increase this, right? So I'll just do some Surging Mists here on me. See, look how big they are, right? I'll go attack this guy again. Hit me in low health. Wow, that was quick. And now I'll go with that. And now my healing is increased by quite a bit because I've used my Tiger's Eye Brew. So you see how fast I'm healing. And on top of that, you can use your Energizing Brew if you needed to. So you get energy faster. So you can just keep spamming that, keep it up. And then you can probably go right back in. And then just like keep attacking and just keep it going like that. So guys, that about some... Oh, also, one last thing. Probably your main defensive, Karma, Touch of Karma. So that would stop the damage to you by, like, as long as you've got the 4 set by all of your health, 100% of your health, it keeps in. So, yeah, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. It's very OP. And it's like, well, very OP, as I said. So, I think that's about it, guys. And mobility, actually, for the last thing I'm going to say. I'll start with Transcendence. So, I've got my portal there. Over here, I'd put these behind a pillar in arena or something. I'm attacking them I'm on low health. Oh, I'm on low health. I'm gonna go back over here, heal up behind the pillar. Right. Another thing is especially using rogue against rogues, is I usually save my Chi Torpedoes because I know at some point the rogue is gonna run away because they're very scared. So I'd go into a Flying Serpent Kick. I'd get a disable on them. If they get that disable off, I usually chi torpedo towards them, disable them again, and they'll almost run out of speed. Like, it's just very easy to keep up with them, and by that time I can leg sweep them and just stuff like that. And yeah, I mean that sums up about everything I'm gonna say. Apart from you can also use Goblin Glider kits if you're gonna wrap your base into jump off. So that's my guide, guys. I'll see you later.